One thing that drives me crazy is when I'm trying to farm items in the dungeon, but enemies hardly seem to spawn, or I can't seem to get the enemies I'm after to appear. Well, no more after a recent update. How's it going, crew? This is Happy Days, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create your own custom dungeon that you can build close to your base for some farming whenever you feel like it. Okay guys, so to start with, we just need to look at what you need to get your dungeon farm going, and thankfully it's pretty easy. So you're just going to want some general stuff to build a little spawn point with, and then all you need is some pink bricks or green bricks from your dungeon. I think you can use blue bricks as well. And then this is kind of cool, the developers did this. You want to make the 3 different wall types because each different wall type actually spawns different enemies in the dungeon. I'll show a quick image on screen to show you what I mean by that. So you're going to want to get the 3 different types. Now the cool thing is, if you don't want one of the enemy types to spawn, you can just leave that out. Now the next thing you need is some shimmer. You can visit the shimmer biome if you want, but what you want to do is throw them into the shimmer, and thanks to the most recent update, that will now turn those into cursed slab walls, which you can place down, and these are the ones that actually spawn enemies. So that's kind of cool. So what you want to do, get all your walls ready, get your cursed walls. So I've got a stack of them here, thanks to journey mode as always. So I'm going to get all of this ready, and then all we need to do is actually go down to we need to go under the surface layer. Now if you're not sure, I'll put another image on screen. The surface layer ends at 0, and it's anything above 0. So basically we need to, and you can see that's changed from underground to surface there. So pretty much we just need to be under surface. So underground or cavern layer is fine. So yeah, you just sort of want to dig down until you've found a spot you're happy to build in. Now, this kind of depends how you want to do it. Some people like to just get some explosives and have fun making the farm that way. Or if you're a bit later in the game, you can use something like the drill containment unit to really open up an area very quickly. Or if you want to do it even quicker again, you could use something like Teddit, especially if you're testing something. Sometimes, for example, if I'm making a video on a big thing, I might quickly test it in Teddit. Okay guys, so I've had some fun. I've made a little spawn point for myself. I've got all my loot boxes set up. And what I've actually done, and I'll put another image on screen, you guys are learning a lot about mob spawning in Terraria. We need the mob spawning platform to be about 35 to 40 blocks below us, or they're not going to spawn. And now to make an artificial dungeon biome, you need about 250 dungeon bricks nearby, or the dungeon mobs just won't spawn at all. So what I like to do, here's a little tip for you, is count out the blocks before you get started, because if you're building something, it's almost impossible to like count it by eye, especially if you're, you know, got lots of blocks put down. And the cool thing too, if you count it exactly and you say you want to turn off the farm, you can just put the last block in like a random spot like this. And this is a 250th block, and you can just remove it, and that'll actually turn off the dungeon mob spawning. So that can be a really cool way to do that. And if you can tell I'm nerding out about this, it's because I really love this part about Terraria. So I'll get this set up. So what I like to do, and quick tip, is before I spend too much time decorating it and making it look pretty, I just like to get the blocks in place and see if it actually works. So before I spend too much time making it all beautiful and everything, I just want to see if it works. Because sometimes, even though Terraria says it works a certain way, sometimes it just doesn't seem to work for some reason. So I'll get this all done, and then we'll see if we can get some mob spawning. Let's zoom ahead. Alright, so I think we're almost ready here. So I'm going to start putting down some water candles, and let's drink a battle potion. And oh my gosh, it's already starting to work. This is so cool. So what I want to do now is place some water candles around the farm, just so as I'm running back and forward, we always have the water candle debuff active. And there was another platform here. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, we've got that. Nice. So what should start to happen is, yeah, we'll start to get these mobs spawning. But we are getting some of these like non-mob things as well. We're back in our farm here, and as you can see, I have made quite a few changes, and this is Happy from the future. And yeah, I realized in my haste to get in and make this video, there was a few things I was overlooking about making a dungeon farm, and I'm kind of glad that I did make some mistakes, because sometimes making mistakes is how you learn. So basically, one of the cool things about making dungeon farms is you kind of, unlike all the other biomes, both the player and the mobs need a dungeon brick and a dungeon wall for them to spawn. So what you can kind of do, which is really, really cool, you can make an enclosed box like I've done here. And I have used Teddit, and you can see from the walls here, I've made the 3 different wall types. So as I'm running around, all 3 of the mobs types can spawn. So I should get a nice collection of loot. Now, yeah, what I wanted to do though is, like, rather than trying to like make out I knew what I was talking about, I left it in because part of making farms in Terraria is making mistakes. So yeah, this is really cool. I would love to refine this farm more. But yeah, we've got some pretty sweet loot so far. As you can see, it's dropping like crazy. Also, I wanted to mention, I've got a Rec 3000 here. Don't curse me. Basically, it's showing how many mobs are spawning, and this is really good when you're making a mob farm. In hard mode, you can get up to, I think it's 15 to 18 enemies in a location. So this is a really good way to know how well your farm is working. So yeah, if you've got a water candle and you've got a battle potion on, luck potion, all this good stuff, yeah, your enemies nearby should get up to about 15 to 18. So that is really cool indeed. So yeah, pretty much from here, it's really up to you. You know, you can sort of make the farm bigger if you want. You can add more platforms. I've got a few extra rows of bricks here for mobs to spawn on. This is good too, because as you get towards the edges of the farm, the mobs can't sort of spawn outside of here. So you're just making sure you've got lots of extra room for everything to spawn. As I get another banner, I'm collecting those because it makes it easier to stay alive, especially if you're doing this in master mode. This month, we'll definitely be doing some live streams in December. We'll be trying some cool farming stuff. A lot of you have been asking me to try out some mods. So I think it's going to be a really fun month of trying lots of new stuff. So thank you so much for watching. I may do an updated version of this farm. I really want to play with it. I think this has a lot of potential for really refining it and making it even better. But yeah, I think this is a great getting started guide for it. So yeah, thank you so much. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share it with your friends, share it with your cat, all this good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And here's the most important part as always. You all stay happy and I'll see you soon. This is Happy Days signing out. See ya.